Suzy, welcome to Raw Talks at the IGF AGM. Nowadays, ESIAs are well established. Are they a tick in the box or really a useful tool for companies to manage impact?
They should be useful tool for mining companies. But at the end of the day, it will depend of, let's say, two elements. The first one is, do you have in the country a robust and efficient legal framework governing the process of ESIAs? The second element is there a real willingness of a mining company to take it seriously? Fortunately, more and more mining companies have understood that it's in their own interest to take ESIAs seriously, because if you don't do that properly from the very beginning, you expose your project to complication in the future. So to guarantee the success in the long term, you need to do it properly from the beginning.
Some companies, they aim to follow standards set by development agencies, international or organizations such as the IFC, which can be more stringent than local regulation. But is there a risk that these international standards undermine local regulatory frameworks?
No. In fact, they are totally complementary. You may have some gaps, some shortcomings, and in that situation, this international standard may help to fill temporarily these gaps. They have an important role to play. But at the end of the day, I agree that the ideal situation will be that all domestic laws and regulation integrate and contextualize. The responsibility is on the government to monitor and to evaluate the implementation of ESIAs. That was good, but the reality is, in practice, to be able to do that, you need resources. You need human resources, you need financial resources, and unfortunately, these resources are not always available in developing countries.
Community-based monitoring, how can that play a role?
Actually, it can play an important role. It's not costly, and it can be really efficient. Unfortunately, at this stage, not very few countries have in the law and regulation some processes or some provision allowing communities to really be involved in the monitoring process.
And in general, are local communities involved enough in the ESIAs? And we talked about sort of the end of its monitoring and evaluation, but at the beginning?
At the beginning, fortunately, based on those international standards, most of the mining laws and regulation require to consult. In terms of practice, again, we have a lot of challenges to really have real consultation, real engagement. It's one thing to say you have to consult communities. It's another thing to ensure it's properly done.
And then the problem is with the industry, that they're not opening up to the communities?
I would say that the responsibilities are shared between the government and the mining industry. I hope at the end of the day we will have a common understanding of the issues and see ESIAs really as a friendly tool for all stakeholders in the mining sector.
Thank you very much for joining me today.